Greetings everyone, boys and girls. This is James here speaking, and today is about the Tuesday. Is on to Christmas, day December 10th, and we just want. I woke up here just early there the morning, so it was has caused by the cold wave. And so much have to be wetter. Cold wave the system is a wetter, and this was had to. And this is a very cold. It's as freaking as hell, and I just going to be to as right on here, and I just going to be the very it's very important. There's the YouTube, and my personal account at the COPPA the YouTube will go into the under, and this will be the nuclear striking onto the YouTube impact, and the sacrifice are the channels for yesterday. And we're just going to be as we're going to head into the computer, so I just better I'm going to check. I wonder to believe it's gonna YouTube is check. Let's see, something is what happened and what's gonna happen right now. Oh, that's a flashy. I like it. I like this flash on an as a morning effect. That's a shine. The sunlight as a god. Okay, here we are. I don't think a hat says a YouTube will go and check, and the personal account affected by to COPPA, I think. And I better go and check. The sunlight is a flash the morning effect. The sun has rising, and so believe in their check, and I find out the YouTube will going to happen. Let's see. Let's take a load it. Much take a load it for a long time, and we're just gonna see what happened. This isn't a number of less to be my personal account, the videos right here, and we just had to video vloggers and funny and gaming, the VR checked, and the food reviews, and my personal videos, and let's read, and then to make the funniest stuff as a made for teenage and adult here. And we just had to warn these setting right here as it's kind of the US dollar, the Thai, and we just not be making this money from YouTube video. So it's what it said. My channel is made for kids. It's going to be the COPPA laws is on to affect the YouTube. Is one thing is to I was just setting to disagreed. I was said no, set this channel as not made for kids, as a made for teenage and adult. So I'm not kid friendly, but link its account, and then to advertisement committedly. So I was a personal everything is everybody else, and have this was an old description is much crap, and I just rewriting this, and so the country is and this is our studios at home. So this was had COPPA doesn't affect my personal account, and let's go to setting here. It says audition. It's set to audition, and you need to answer the question. It said no, it's not made for kids. So let's update, and roughly here. Come on. There we go. There. It says going to be made for teenage and adult, and this was just not made for kids, as I was barely enough this from child, and I was barely enough the teenagehood. So let's get to have this happen. Boys and girls, and obviously this is what my personal account, and this is not actual of the clickbait videos. So, and this is going to be the 100% of real is happening on to YouTube, and the new YouTube system, it is the new term of serve as December 15, 2019, and this was had to FTC, Federal Trade Commission, that reportedly it was find out that violation laws onto YouTube and Google, and the person with the information to be to the joking towards the YouTube and the Googles that had to mobile device and looking up to the mirror at the computer, otherwise that it was not being under the 13 ages, and the creators handle the contents on the channels a small amount of it has to be at silent minutes of the channel, and it's first of all it was supposed to be this back then in November. YouTube was thought as that to find out there's having an FTC is called COPPA. The COPPA is a find it there is a way to have to a big trouble onto YouTube, and Google has it divided to be as number as that to as what is have the violations of laws with the inappropriate contents on the adult content and teenage content and the kids friendly content, and this was had just has a huge amount of it as millions of users, videos and channels, and then accounts as the devices are been effect that is realizations to be just for the internet social media the impact, and this was had to teenage and adult has a content as a views will be viewable or freely is creators the content, and this was has the break it one thing rules, and this was have the COPPA laws. It was supposed to be a student of a 170 million US dollar, and YouTube will going to check their as amount of all the channels, and that will be to decide they have to take the system the database, and then it takes to sacrifice the channel, and YouTube turns to be Thanos tube. They use to an infinite jam that will has it takes to all over to have the database for has a counselor, and then so loads there in the channel, loads there the videos and storage, and this will be have the need to clean it there up that it takes the updatings onto YouTube system, and the new smartest bot on there that goes around this worldwide, and everybody else have taken rule it onto YouTube's community. The creators of content are around that to North America, Europe, Asia, not the Middle East. So this was obviously it's been to have a COPPA effect that will the inside of bits of the internet that was been have brought to COPPA nuclear strikes, and it goes up to targeting to down into YouTube HQ, stand for YouTube headquarters, that is a process link and destroyed all the process and the property onto YouTube section. And we just thought I have the scenes to what so happens here. The term of the serve will, as it's breaking the rules that it takes to sacrifice the small channels and small creators and crush themselves that's deep into the garbage as a dumper. And what have to be acknowledgement have the YouTube bottom lines here has really called by term and serve. Give us about this, read this rules. As a YouTube bot is going to have a way to go to check, and there's have videos, a database of files, and then the children is younger, the people, the young children have looking at watch the YouTube videos that his parents have what else their ages will be going up to grow up to 13 ages, and the children is taught to watch the inappropriate contents and make to be as a bad decisions to how to make the bad things case as a controversially to the content. And just because the Google's and the YouTube system that deserve that will have to get to the marking up to have a deletion to serve the files and deleting the server account, and just setting it all around here from the internet, the database is here and reserved, and which was not allowed to, but as has been have the community guidelines strikes this smartness as a smartness of the YouTube AI bot are recently did the YouTube Uprising, and the Thanos tube will have all the powerful uprising, and this is going to be this should it says take down their videos as well not being allowed to has making discussion videos and swearing and hate speech, disrespectful, and then had freedom of speech. And this was massively as global from the social media that impacted onto the YouTube. This will has processed, it slowly destroy your account, your life, and you had to ended your YouTube hobbies and your childhood as dismissed of the memories. And digitized had to our concentrations had much more from the attention to determine the surf as well as having reading the rules. And it was that children, that young people have to sign up their counselor and the YouTube accounts, as I understand the 13 ages of the under for 13 ages of teenagers hood, and under 18 and 21 ages as a teenagers and adult. And we just have to quiet there for entertainment. This was a very bad decision, and this was have the infamous creator contents that make inappropriating bunch of kind of just have to just kind of have to the adulthood is pretty much the scenes of 20, 21, and 22 years old have to grow up there that's generated this decade. As they for remember as where I was as kids, I was 7 years old after began this career, and then brought my new friends surround here, the lines of members of crew, and I've been long studied how to make to arts and animations, how to make the entertaining content, and it's just to have my opinions has changed their mind. So good news and bad news. As sadly true has a more than bad than good. My good news is that I was not being allowed making disgusting hate speech, disrespectful charges of video footage and violations and swearing, disgusting minority events or just stuff like that. And I've been creating this a good decision. We have to make food review, anime, games, movie review, as listening to music, behind the scene, making of, and then showcase the weaponry and make to let's read something book. This is actually made for teenage and adult. I was 20 years old, and back to the COPPA years, they have to 18 years old with the teenagers. Then this will be able to take to the YouTube, going to have to check with the system with the database for the counts, and then the videos that will be have this nuclear striking down to because privacy destroyed, and then Thanos finally is going to be snap the fingers, and this account just fade away, just turn it to dirt and dust, it have its sands, and all this is videos of privacy has gone to disappeared. Like the same movie for Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. I like this scenes of movie. I love this movie so much. So, and I don't believe there's a COPPA will affect that the anime, games, movie review, and we have the toy stuff as a COPPA as a made for kids or not, as a made for teenage and adult. And if was a YouTube will be to get it slowly processed as a by YouTube bots, YouTube staff, and they're gonna sacrifice my channel. And this was have the YouTube is only for sacrifice every single channels will process gonna disappear, and no longer is just creating the account and no longer creating creators of content, and they will no longer making the videos as I ever seen ever again. And this will have to around the people are panic, our surroundings here for the and everybody has a panic, and just get this should be involved here, have an awareness, have to take to safety to has just have to setting it to turn off there, but not made for kids, has it made for teenage and adult. And modifications as well as creating this purposely as a good and bad decision, that's good or bad. And this modification will be going to show up as an inappropriate contents, but result is demonetized. It's a demonetized that there's no need to make the money for the YouTube, and in the Bilibili just have a hires and then downgrade to the money for crucial stuff of modification, and so the modification for the community has not been allowed to discussing videos that hate speech and disrespectful, rude, swearing, and the minorities and stuff like that, and making this normally is clean censored version as a need to be originally has to take to clean censored version as I make this on the personal videos, as a made for the teenage and adult, and a made for kids, as a kid friendly, as a family friendly, as a as my opinions as options other side, and they was it did. So what if they do as a YouTube COPPA, what is they doing wrong? What is they ruling for the internet? It's getting worse for every years. So I just turned out. YouTube has gone ways as a bottom line, has its gone ways is too far. And we just wanted to be the awareness, having to get this the safety and account. And I don't deserve to be the COPPA Law and the COPPA effects on the YouTube. If you want to know about the scientists of campaign, will be taking the safety to go of the save your internet, to save your YouTube personality, and your YouTube counselor. So if you have to look on to have a scientist as a campaign, find us there, have a look at it down here. So down in here has a description here, and we just want to be the scientist campaign. Go on here, hashtag save YouTube, right there, down in here, hashtag save YouTube, and do the favor and to do the spreading more words, spreading this hashtags, this campaign there. And if you believe that it get passed or fail, when COPPA will strike this, impacting down to YouTube headquarters, and will destroy the process and then sacrifice our millions of accounts. So right here in the description, sign this campaign. And the titles in here, it's hashtag save YouTube, and I will post a comment says hashtag save YouTube. So you would have the favor, and at least this COPPA will be affect the slowly process will destroy my account, and believe it or not, and will be due for the creating the family friendly contents on YouTube. And the world has never been fate, and to never give up, and to try to fight for the freedom to the speech. Everybody involved to the YouTube. So right now, to be it honestly, and I'll be doing it here for keeping awareness that will hopefully to get to keep this continue, and to get it will to survive our channels and videos and find out myself. So right here, sign as a Patreons to campaigns as comment, and just post a comment said hashtag save YouTube. Alright, so save your family friendly content, save your content creators for the worldwide, since everybody is involved, our fans and supporters. So if you have a big problems with COPPA, which just has settings just automatically says made for kids, and it says setting the audition set no, it's not made for kids, and it doing stuff keep on to the safety your videos and accounts, make sure it's all safety. So spreading more words and spreading this comment, please do for supporters and the fans, the comment leads, this community, and spread more from everybody's comment there, how to save you YouTube. And if everything says that everybody is going to be destroy all the props, and nothing much have to say. Well, I have to bet to communities of the Google's YouTube, and hopefully they get to pass the December 15th will get to survive. And right now, to be honestly, and I'll be doing so well, and I'm doing good. And well, that's all pretty much I have to say. This is important. There's 100% real of a YouTube is bigger as a problem, and will be passed there sometime in the future. So that's all pretty much I have to say. And please sign us here, have a post comment, hashtag save YouTube, and take down COPPApedia if either works or fail. So anyway, I have to back trick to working. And as always, I'll see you around for the next videos in the near future. So later.